Hello.
Hello, Bjorn.
Hi, Brian.
How you doing today?
I'm fine, thanks. You?
Very good, very good. Everything's going good. A little bit hot, finally, but
Yeah.
it's enjoyable. So let's get to the earliest days of Gothminister.
Yeah.
Tell me, like, when you decided to first start using theatrics in the show, did you have that all planned, or what's up with that?
Well, if we start with the beginning, it was in 1999 I kind of started the project, but first live shows were like 2000, I think. I had this chorus paint and just top hat, a long frock, and I just had some video stuff. And the pre-recorded music, because I was only one person. After being playing in lots of thrash bands and metal bands before, which split up, obviously I was alone in the beginning. So I had to have some kind of a show, but the theatrical elements, they developed quite fast. I had a girlfriend back then called Sandra. She was very into costumes, and she made a lot of crazy stuff, but she quit the band after a while, and I just continued doing stuff I like putting on a great show. And with the new album, we kind of went almost over the top, I think.
Oh, very much, Utopia. And really, where'd you get your ideas from? Was it horror movies? Was it like Alice Cooper, Kiss, Marilyn Manson? Where?
A little bit of everywhere, I think, because I got into the horror movie scene when I met an older guy who became my friend. He was very into metal, and horror movies. So he when he first came to my house, I think I was 9 years old or something, and he was probably 11. And he brought like Evil Dead and Prince of Darkness and Halloween on these really bad VHS copies.
Uh-huh.
Not even with color, just black and white copies, which was even more frightening, So this is probably when I first got into horror, and he also listened to metal, so that was natural. But I quite quickly discovered bands like Alice Cooper and his, for example, the 70s period with Welcome to My Nightmare, where he kind of invested all the money he had into some really cool shows, while some others in his band, they just wanted to take the profit and piss off. This is almost the same as with Utopia, because I invest a lot of money, of course, and time and effort, and instead of trying to just make money from where it was, I want to take Gothminister to a higher level. So that was a huge inspiration that he did something like that, and now I kind of did the same. In a world of bad economy, as many say, that maybe it's a bit special to invest so much money when the economy is so bad. But I think you need to think positive, and you need to invest, because otherwise you will go nowhere. So, or you won't expand. So.
Wow. Now, in the daytime you're a lawyer, at nighttime you're a rock star. Does it actually help the band that you're being a lawyer? Maybe you could save, some funds with, legal papers and stuff like that, and like that?
Yeah. Well, obviously I have a daytime job, so I earn some money for that. But I didn't in my lawyer job. I didn't follow the money. I never did any corporate law business. I've been working in what I think you Americans call entertainment law. So I work with poor artists and film, and I'm always on the weak side. I've never been on the big corporate side. So obviously I earn okay with money, but not like the big cheeses. So, but I also sleep good at night. I value that a lot too. So I never followed the money. I always was interested in putting some justice into society. And but of course it helps. I mean, I spend some of the money I earn, of course, in Gothmnister, but then I also had to take up a big loan to make it happen this time, because it was huge. So But it's all worth it because, I mean, we have a very short life and you have to kind of do what you really want to do, I think. Otherwise, you will just have a boring life and then you die, and that's no fun.
Right, right. Now, Utopia was released by FM Records?
Yeah.
Right. How do they treat you there?
I think it's very good. We have also been on a not major label, but quite big label, Drakkar, Sony, BMG, before in Germany, but they didn't do anything in the US. So this is kind of, we had some independent labels in the US before. This is kind of the first time we have a label who has their own US department and really works a lot with promo also in the US and Canada. So that's going to be interesting. So I think they're doing a good promo job, and they are really thrilled over this release because it's something different. I mean, it's not just a normal CD, it's also a horror movie concert film.
Definitely. It's a concept, a DVD too, that's included, right?
Yeah.
Very cool.
So both the CD is a concept story and also the film is a concept story. So you kind of get two in one release.
Cool, cool. Now, it seems like, your biggest audience is in Norway and Germany. Do you feel this album will reach out to other countries?
Yeah, well, we're going to play pretty much across Europe. We're going to do some... We're doing fewer shows now, but we're doing huge shows because we have to have, because of our big stage props, we have to have like 7 meters up to the ceiling. So obviously we have to say no to some shows, but the bigger the better, I think, with this project, because it's more like a stadium rock metal project, not like for small clubs anymore with a big show. So we're doing mostly UK and Germany, Netherlands, Belgium, probably some other countries too, but hopefully we'll come back to the States. We did our first US tour in 2007 and did a few festivals, but not much has happened in the US since then, unfortunately. So hopefully we'll come back now very soon.
Cool, cool. Now, with Utopia, did you do anything different from this album compared to the last 4?
A little bit. Since I started off alone, as I said, which was quite obvious that I didn't have a band, and the first album was more electronic, then it has a natural development because I come from the thrash metal scene, more or less. This is what I grew up with. We played a lot of speed metal and thrash metal bands in the late 80s and through the 90s, and some industrial metal too. I was a drummer in a band for 10 years. So it's quite natural for me to come back to more metal, more organic stuff. So the band is developing constantly on each album, a little bit more organic, I think, and we toned down the synthesizers, use more orchestral elements only, and just bass, drums, guitars, vocals.
Cool.
And also a bit more playful riffs, maybe especially on the last 3 albums, because we have a great drummer. He plays everything from jazz to black metal, and I wanted to challenge him. So when I write songs now, I also write some cool breaks, doing some more drum details for him so it's more fun for him to play live, so I can challenge him, because he's really good drummer, and it's cool to show off a little bit too, of course.
Cool. Now, you also you were entered into Eurovision's song contest, and you did fairly well. How was that, doing that?
That was a bit awkward, of course, because it's not our scene at all. They called me from national TV station because they pay for everything. So it's a huge production. I mean, it's Europe's biggest music contest, and they asked if we want to join with our new single, which wasn't released because that's one of the terms, of course. And but our term was that we have to do it our way. We have to be Gothmnister. We have to remember not to be pushed into some commercial shit that we didn't want to be. So if we could have like a bloody zombie horror show in front of 1 million TV viewers, then we'd do it. And they let us actually do almost all of that. They said no to some things, but we had a lot of fun and we did it our way. And some people mean that maybe that's why we didn't make it to the finals. I don't know, but I don't care either, because, well, it was interesting. We had this promo meeting with our agents, and I kind of asked them just because I was curious, what do you think is better for Gothmnister, to win the Eurovision or to promote the band like we were supposed to be? And then they were screaming, yeah, win Eurovision. I said, wrong. We have to build up the band like it's supposed to be, because if you just go and do something you don't want to and you win Eurovision, then there's nothing left. I mean, you have to just promote the band, and I think we did that in the right way, because we got a lot of more fans, even though we didn't win the contest. So I think we got loads of great promotion, and we were able to show the band to people who wouldn't check us out in the first place. So that was really cool.
Cool. It must be kind of expensive putting on a stage show as elaborate as yours.
Absolutely. I have been constantly searching the internet, of course, and actually most of our props are produced in the United States by companies like Scare Factory and Gore Galore. They also do a lot of stuff for CSI, and you guys, you have a great tradition of Halloween and horror that we don't have in Europe, so we have to find it in the US actually. I have to mention one cool thing though for the Eurovision, just to have said it all. The TV hostess from Eurovision, she was actually in a zombie movie, and she reminded me of that. So what we did during Eurovision, I called the film company, and we were allowed to borrow a severed head that was made by her face for that movie. So it's a decapitated head of her, which we brought to Eurovision, and this was one thing we weren't allowed to put on live on live TV, of course, because we want to have a joke like, yeah, we sawed off her head, and that would be funny. But they said no, too many children and too many. I bet it's not the children, it's the family fathers and mothers who say that the children, they can't watch this. It's them who won't. But on the after party, I took this head up and I was dancing around with it, and all the media was just focused on me and that head. And then she came along and she posed with me, so we got the biggest pictures in all the commercial newspapers and magazines. And the winner of that contest was just a very tiny picture in the corner. Cool. So that was really cool.
Yeah, that's great. It's a nice compliment for the band.
Yeah, absolutely. But we also have a lot of humor. We're not like dead serious that I live in a grave and I'm very creepy and scary. we have a lot of sense of humor, and I think it's needed because we have so much fun behind the stage, and we have to show people that we also have fun with this.
Cool. Now, when you go out on a live tour and shows, is there anything particular you ask to eat?
To eat?
Yeah. Without heads. No heads.
No, I think it's basically as simple as that. As we ask if we can get no junk food actually, because we get so fat and really in bad shape from just eating junk food all the time. So we try to eat a little bit healthy. I know that was a boring answer, but that's the truth basically. But I know some bands' riders are just really ridiculous. But we don't have any fun element there actually. We don't have any dead people on the riders or anything like that. But we have a lot of props with us. So when we came to do a festival in Germany, and the Germans are quite crazy, so we had a lorry full of equipment, and they really thought we were crazy. We were bringing up the 350 kilos demon, where in the middle of the show, our drummer is just kidnapped from two executioners come and take him off his drum chair and throw him into a pit in front of the stage. And then a huge animatronic demon goes 7 meters up in the air, grabbing him in the legs and shaking him. Wow. And then taking him down. And then there's the silence, and then he crawls back on stage with a bloody shirt, and everyone is cheering and laughing and having fun. Then we kick off with one of the hit songs, and then it's quite cool actually. We also have some amazing radio-controlled bats. So I got in touch with a Japanese doctor on YouTube, he's constructing this. He's not selling them commercially, but I showed him all of our props, and he wanted to make something like customized for us. So he made us a remote-controlled bat with 1 meter wingspan. I'm standing on a preacher's chair, and I'm holding it, and it starts flapping, and I send it, and it's flying over the audience back and forth.
Wow.
So that's quite cool also. With no lines, no strings attached. It's just driven by the wing flapping. So it's a really cool construction.
Cool. Do you feel like a stage show is missing in music these days? Because, the basic is kind of boring.
I think so, because both like these concept albums, they are also missing. Not many do it anymore. They did a lot in 70s. And also the stage shows are quite boring. I mean, some artists, of course, they have really huge stuff still. You still have, Iron Maiden, they always have their Eddie and Alice Cooper, and even Lady Gaga has really invested in some quite cool elements. But the majority of artists, I think they just use the same, more or less the same effects, like some video screen or something. We wanted to... we didn't want any animation in our movie because I'm quite fed up with that. I wanted everything to look more real and to be more real. And also live, we use actors. We use real props that people can touch, not like this video stuff.
Cool. What was the first concert you ever went to?
That was actually Manowar Kings of Metal in 1989. Wow. In Oslo. Again, my older friend, he dragged me to that concert, and I remember I was disappointed because the music was really like masculine and tough, and the guys came in spandex and really looking like they were going to the gym. So that was really, but I mean, that is one band that I think a lot of people laughed at for many years, and they kept on going doing the thing, and now they finally get some respect. So that's cool. Same with AC/DC, I think, and all these bands who just keep on doing what they really want, and they don't care about what people say. I think that's the way to go, because if you lose yourself and you try to focus on what you think people like, then you kind of lose your ability to be an artist, and you're just a pure entertainer, just to like a factory trying to make a product to earn money, and that's no fun.
Very cool. Well, Bjorn, the new album Utopia, hopefully everybody supports it and picks it up. Is there any chance you'll make it to the USA this year?
I'm not sure this year. It depends on the booking agency. They're working on some stuff, but I don't know. It will probably be some festivals or hopefully a tour again. It would be good to be on a bigger tour with some other bands. Probably that would be the best, because then we can do our full live show, since we need big venues. They're working on it, so hopefully we'll come back again. As I said, we haven't been there since 2008, so it's about time, I think.
Cool. Well, congratulations, and I wish you well. Would you like to say anything in ending to your fans out there?
Thank you so much. I think people should start or stop to be so much on. I mean, it's great with Facebook and everything on internet, but I think too many people just sit by their machines. And I think they should go out in the real world and meet each other more often, go to concerts and have a good time, not only by the computers, because it's dangerous in the long run. So that's my message to the people. Don't be a slave of your computer.
Cool. Thanks very much, man.
Thank you so much.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.